Hi everyone, my name is Olaf Storm. Today I'm going to show you how I make some of my art, and we will be looking at this picture in particular and go through the process of how I made it. So I have a sped up video here of me making this, so I think this is probably 10 times the speed or even more. But the first thing you can see is that I'm starting off in 3D. Now the look I'm after is not entirely a 3D rendered polished look. It's more like in my animations, in my background art, normally I would go for a more painted look. But what the 3D allows me to do is to lay out my compositions, place out my camera and play around with light at a very early stage to achieve the mood and feel I'm after. It also helps me because I can put myself in the world of the character. I can look around with the camera there and take some different shots out of this. So what I'm doing after the 3D, when that's rendered, I will use the render and paint on top of that in Photoshop, and that's where I can do details and all that. So my 3D does not have to be taken to a very I don't have to model a lot of details. It's more just placing out objects so I know where things are within this environment. So some benefits with doing this is that let's say I had to create 5 different background shots for 5 different shots in this. If this was an animation, for example, then I would have, if I do it the normal way of just painting each one, then that would obviously take me time because I had to repaint it from scratch every time. But here I can just reframe my camera, and I have done 50-60% of the job already by rendering that out, and then I just need to do some paint on top of that later. Here you can see I'm laying out some lights. I have 2 area lights outside the windows there, and distant light that that sort of represents the sunlight, and just some blobs there that will be like curtains. They're out of frame, so they don't need to be defined the sort of shape on that. They could just be very simple shapes. I'm using a renderer called Arnold when I do this. It's actually a photorealistic renderer, but I'm kind of after a photorealistic light, but probably not, the textures shouldn't be too photoreal, so that's more what I'm playing with. The actual textures I'm gonna drop on in a second here is something I've painted. I've done like different tiles or tiled textures for different materials, and you can see them now. They're sort of like brush strokes that maybe some of them represent wood, some are just painted looks like I drop on the walls there. They're just basically brush strokes, so it doesn't become too flat and polished like the 3D would give me. So here I'm just also adding some more details. These could be painted in Photoshop, but I guess I'd just drop them in now. It's all about saving time. If it saves me time, then I'm gonna go with that option. Adding some final furniture before I render. Just checking so the lighting is good. Little plant pot going in there in the corner. And now I'm just about ready to render it, and just dropping on the final texture. And I think, yeah, here you go. Here it's in Photoshop, and that's what came out of the 3D. It's quite a good look already. So most of the job is sort of done, but now I just need to take away some of that clean edges that you get from the 3D. So I'm sort of roughening up some of the surfaces and painting in details. Now you can see I'm sort of drawing in some vegetation, some plants there. That's a custom brush I've made that I'm using quite often in my work. Maybe too often. You might start seeing it being used too much. But yeah, just adding all the little details, the little things I didn't want to model in 3D, basically. And here I can this is quite a relaxing process. You can sort of think about what the characters should be and stuff while you paint all these things, because they're sort of just on automation. So here I'm putting on a white solid on top of everything and fading that out, and then so I can see my my brush strokes from or my line work when I draw my character. So I first do a really quite a rough sketch, and then I clean it up on top of it. I'm not really after the most clean look. I could take the character to a painted render like the background, but the look I'm after is more towards the like 2D animated films. So if this was one of my films, I would have to paint this guy probably 100 times over, because if he's walking around in there. So that's the kind of look I'm after in this image. So I'm making quite simple with just a few colors and shadows and highlights, and something I could replicate quite quickly if I would have to do this several times, obviously. So this video is almost coming to an end, but if you have enjoyed this, please let me know, and I would like to make more if you want to see more. So yeah, just doing the final compositing here, adding some volumetric light and some color correcting. And all right, I'll see you guys.